All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we are investigating a seriously fascinating geographical and economic mystery, and it's set right in the heart of Nigeria. We're going to explore a place literally brimming with rich history, stunning landscapes, and incredibly vibrant cultures. But here's the catch. It's really struggling to translate those amazing assets into a thriving tourism economy. It's a classic case study in development, and the insights we're going to uncover today apply to emerging destinations all over the globe.
Here is our quick roadmap for today. We'll be hitting the Kaduna tourism paradox, Kaduna's hidden tourism gems, the anatomy of a destination, roadblocks to tourism growth, and finally, unlocking the potential.
Starting with Section 1, the Kaduna tourism paradox, a wealth of wonder versus a low tourist influx.
Okay, before we get into the weeds of abstract economic concepts, let's physically ground ourselves. Looking at Kaduna State, centrally located in Nigeria, we are dealing with a truly massive area. It occupies over 48,000 square kilometers and is home to more than 6 million people. It's this region of incredible geographical diversity, transitioning beautifully from tropical grasslands down in the south all the way to the Sudan savanna up north. Plus, it's blessed with the mighty river Kaduna and features these incredible protruding, weather-resistant granite rocks. But here is the central paradox. Despite having a landscape practically built for exploration, the actual number of people visiting remains startlingly low.
Moving to Section 2, Kaduna's hidden tourism gems, visualizing the untapped wealth.
To really get what's at stake, just look at the incredible contrast here. On one hand, we have the rich archaeological history of the Nok settlement. This is a world-renowned culture, representing some of the earliest and most mind-blowing ancient history in all of West Africa. And right alongside that deep cultural heritage, you have the cascading, raw beauty of the Matsirga Waterfalls. This is powerful, scenic beauty that could easily rival famous natural attractions anywhere else in the world.
And it genuinely doesn't stop there. Striking geological formations like Kufena Hills offer scenic upland regions that are just sitting there, waiting to be explored. Remember those hard granite rocks we just mentioned? Well, centuries of weathering have created these massive rocky outgrowths known as inselbergs. These dramatic elevations don't just give you stunning panoramic views, they offer immense potential for hiking, ecotourism, and adventure travel.
Now, the region's potential goes way beyond just its physical landscape. The state absolutely pulses with vibrant cultural and religious festivals. You've got major national-level events like the Durbar, Afan, and Tukam, not to mention the Okulu Festival, which features these boisterous theatrical performances that literally carry visitors to a sheer exhilaration of fun. When you combine those with major religious celebrations, you end up with an environment that provides immense experiential value for travelers all year round.
Which brings us to Section 3, Anatomy of a Destination, the Science of Tourism. Let's get a little academic for a second. Tourism potential isn't just about having a pretty view or a cool historical artifact. As defined by experts, it is the ability of an area to form a complete tourism product. Yes, it absolutely requires the raw resources to attract flows of people, but it equally requires the accessibility and the infrastructure to actually support them. You have to be able to transform that raw potential into an economically vital industry.
To break this down, researchers classify these potentials into 4 distinct buckets. First, you have natural features, like the waterfalls and hills. Second, man-made structures not originally designed for tourists. Think of the ancient Nok archaeological sites. Third, purpose-built attractions, like resorts. And fourth, special events, like those vibrant cultural festivals. When we look at Kaduna State through this academic lens, it honestly checks the box for almost every single category.
This brilliantly illustrates our next core concept, the Crouch and Ritchie competitiveness model. Now, this model separates destination assets into inherited resources and created resources. Inherited resources are things like your natural beauty and historical sites, basically the stuff you were gifted by geography and history. Created resources are the hotels, the transportation networks, government policies, and destination management. The model proves that while inherited resources are a crucial foundation, a destination absolutely cannot succeed without the created resources to back them up.
Which leads us to the real turning point of our investigation. If Kaduna has all these incredible inherited resources, the waterfalls, the hills, the ancient history, the festivals, where on earth are the tourists? In fact, the data analyzed in the source study showed a dramatic decline in tourist influx at key sites, dropping from over 5,000 visitors in 2008 to roughly half that by 2011. So what exactly went wrong?
Let's look at Section 4, Roadblocks to Tourism Growth, Identifying the Constraints.
To figure this out, researchers utilize something called a weighted sum model. It sounds complex, but it's basically a sophisticated decision-making tool, meaning these findings aren't just guesswork, they are based on rigorous mathematical consensus. They systematically surveyed experts and tourists across different zones of the state, and the data came back crystal clear. The major shortcomings trace directly to 4 key areas: inadequate infrastructure, a severe lack of funding, really poor marketing, and significant challenges around security.
So we're basically looking at a missing link scenario here. For tourism to evolve from just a neat concept to a viable product, the region desperately needs basic infrastructure, things like reliable roads and a clean water supply. But it also requires maintained superstructures. Superstructures are the facilities built specifically to accommodate tourist demand: your hotels, motels, guest houses, and visitor centers. Without these created resources, the inherited resources just sit there, completely stranded.
Finally, Section 5, Unlocking the Potential, Data-Driven Solutions.
The good news is the source study doesn't just point out the flaws. It builds a real roadmap for the future with some highly strategic recommendations. First, they propose clustering tourist spots. By linking nearby attractions, you build a critical mass that actually makes the trip worthwhile for international and domestic travelers. Second, they highlight the absolute necessity of establishing robust public-private joint ventures because the government just can't do it alone. And third, to incentivize that private involvement, the state needs to provide things like tax holidays and soft loans to aggressively stimulate infrastructure investment.
And why go through all this massive effort? Because, as the study points out, the sheer profitability of international tourism has garnered widespread recognition as a powerful development agent. If these data-driven solutions are actually implemented, the positive transformation of Kaduna's raw potentials could turn tourism into a massive economic engine. We are talking about significantly increasing foreign exchange earnings, driving regional development, and creating thousands of essential jobs for the local population. It's a real game changer.
As we wrap up this explainer, I think it's clear the lessons from Kaduna State reach far beyond the borders of Nigeria. It's a powerful reminder of the delicate balance between what nature provides and what human planning must build. So, I want you to look at your own community for a second and ask yourself, what hidden, untapped potentials exist right in your own region, just waiting for the right infrastructure to truly thrive? Keep exploring and keep asking the right questions.